Subscribe to my sister's channel. She will also voice her favorite plots. Let's give her a big asset. Naruto's POV. Today Sasuke and I went on a rank A mission. The main task is to save the prisoners from the clutches of the Nukanins. We have always performed all the tasks perfectly, and this is no exception either. It's not for nothing that I'm Captain Umbu. Now I have become more reasonable, cautious and, ahahaha, oh I can't, stop flattering yourself, Kurama said through laughter. Pfft. Look who's awake. Well, how can I miss the chance to tease you? He replied mockingly. Are you shitting with Kurama again? Sasuke's voice distracted me. Well, how to say? Just someone wanted to make fun of, that's all. Okay, it's time for us to escort the prisoners to the customer. Let's go. Sasuke said and quickly left. And where is he in a hurry? There seems to be no need to hurry anywhere, I don't know, but you'd better hurry after him, Kurama replied and fell silent, apparently fell asleep. Well, it's time to go, and POV Naruto. After Sasuke and Naruto completed the task, they decided to spend the night at the hotel, because there is no hurry. Hotel, Sasuke and Naruto's room. How do you think Sakura will react if you ask her out? Naruto suddenly asked. Well, at first she will be blunt and delve into the words that I will tell her, then when it comes to her, she will ask if this is a joke or not. And anyway, what the fuck? I'm not going to ask her out yet. Sasuke snorted and turned away, but it was noticeable that he blushed slightly. Oh. Yet? Naruto noticed and laughed. From the author, Sasuke has not met Sakura yet, and in general, they were not going to start a closer relationship yet. It was only with Sasuke that he could relax after becoming the captain of the Umbu. After all, he must be serious and reasonable to fit this position. There is no place for small pranks anymore. The sound of snuffling from the Uchiha's side brought him out of his thoughts. Deciding that it was time for him to sleep too, he wrapped himself in a blanket and fell asleep. Morning of the following day. Naruto's POV. That I woke up to bright sunlight that hit me right in the eyes. Well, for what? I just wanted to get more sleep. Naruto, come down to me quickly. There is an important conversation. Kurama's voice sounded in his head. It was so loud that I immediately had a headache. I decided not to anger the tailed one and went down into the subconscious. As soon as I got there, I froze in shock. Instead of a huge Kurama, a small tailed one stood in front of me. I called you here to say something very important, so keep quiet and listen carefully. Naruto's POV. In the subconscious. I called you here to say something very important, so keep quiet and listen carefully. I sat down on the wet floor. Yes, it was the floor. For some reason there was no water, and he began to listen carefully to Kurama. Naruto, I don't know exactly what happened, but we got into a parallel world, Kurama said and looked at me warily. Ah, a parallel world? What? How? That's all I could squeeze out of myself. There was no limit to my indignation. Before you start yelling and protesting, listen to me to the end. In this world, your parents are alive, you have a younger brother, and the Uchiha clan was not cut out. Naruto, just don't worry, but here you have become, well, don't Tommy, say Kurama. I encouraged him. In general, you became a woman, that is, a girl. And in this body you have a poorly developed SCC, but this should not be a big problem, you just need to rock the channels of the chakra and tenketsu. There is no stamina, so taijutsu is not shining for you yet. Now we need to try to learn how to control the chakra again, otherwise you will not use ninjutsu. There is only one conclusion to be drawn from this: training, training, and training again. Kurama finished with this: yeah, things are bad, we'll have to start all over again. But I can handle it if I wasn't Naruto Uzumaki, Datebao. As soon as I got up from the floor, the flea rug started talking again. By the way, Sasuke also got into this world. Of course I will try to contact him, but I promise nothing. Now get out, I need to concentrate. And POV Naruto. After the hero of the 5 nations was thrown out of his subconscious, he decided to look around. When Naruto approached the mirror, a short girl was looking at him, with long, waist-length, sunny-colored hair and large, blue eyes like the spring sky. There were 3 stripes on each side of her cheeks, which made her even more cute. She was wearing a dark green sweatshirt with 3/4 sleeves and blue breeches to the middle of the ankle. A gun pouch was tied around his right leg. A pendant in the form of a sign of the Uzumaki clan hung around his neck. After looking at himself in the mirror, Naruto went to explore the apartment in which he now lives. "It's good that I live alone, so there will be fewer problems," Naruto said with a happy note in his voice. "I should eat, it's already day, and I haven't eaten anything since morning," he muttered thoughtfully and went to the refrigerator. Looking inside, Naruto could not contain a disappointed sigh. "Yeah. I wonder how she lived here. I have a growing body after all, Datebao. It would be necessary to check that with the financial situation. To go to the store is a task of paramount importance." With these words, the most unpredictable ninja Konoha went to look for money. Half an hour later. "How problematic it is not to know the apartment in which you live, Datebao." Naruto was quietly indignant going to the store for shopping. Each blow gives a strong pain in the fist, but not paying attention to it, the girl of 12 years old still continued to beat the trunk of the tree. Blood has long gone on the knuckles of her hands. Only because of the desire to become stronger and truly donkey stubbornness, she continued training. And only when the task was completed, the girl stopped bludgeoning the tree, on which there was a deep dent from many blows. Naruto sprawled on the grass in the pose of a star, resting from taijutsu training. It is easy to notice that the breath has managed to get lost, and sweat is pouring from her in streams. What can you do? This body was completely untrained. In his world at the same age he was much more resilient. After a few minutes, she regained her breath and sat down in the lotus position and descended into her subconscious. Naruto's POV. Kurama. Kurama. Wake up already, Datebao. How long can I sleep? I tried to reach Kurama. Naruto. What do you want from me, little man? The fox said with a growl. I'm on business. Have you learned anything else about this world, flea carpet? Hey, who did you call a carpet? I'm going to make a chop out of you, asshole. Kurama shouted. 10 minutes later. And in general, you should have been whipped for a long time, so that you know how to be sarcastic to your elders. Are you done? So you don't deny that you're flea-bitten? Okay, I'm sorry. So have you learned anything else about this world? Naruto remembered why he came. Oh, yeah, basically nothing has changed, apart from what you already know. Akatsuki are also present here, only the problem is that instead of Itachi, another person is in his place. And we don't know anything about his abilities. Tailed finished his story. Yes, by the way. Don't forget, you have to take the genin exam at the academy tomorrow, so behave like the previous owner of the body and don't shine, otherwise they will suspect something is wrong. Behavior should be changed gradually, we don't need unnecessary problems. Although you're with them, so you're going toe-to-toe. Where do you find it? Ku finished sarcastically and went back to bed. That bastard. So, great, go to the academy again? I'm so happy. Sarcasm is so hot. Exhaling heavily, Naruto left his subconscious and went home. After all, tomorrow is quite a difficult day. The sun shone brightly on the blue firmament, penetrating into the most remote corners of the room. His ray deftly slipped along the bed and stopped on the pretty face of the blonde, who, wincing, hid under the blanket. It was Naruto Uzumaki, a girl who faces many difficult trials in the future, and now. After all, getting up early in the morning after leaving your tender, soft and warm bed seemed an impossible task. And blasphemy. And barbarism. Especially considering that after yesterday's workout, the whole body ached terribly. Kurama certainly tried to help, but because of the undeveloped channels of the chakra, the pain passed too slowly. Therefore, the young blonde firmly decided to oversleep today. True, personal schizophrenia in the person of the nine-tailed demon fox was categorically against, and loudly growled something about the academy, distribution and meeting with Sasuke. However, all these arguments were not something important for our heroine and she did not pay any attention to them. In vain. Very wrong, Naruto's POV. I was snoring sweetly in a soft crib, not even intending to listen to the growls of the red collar inherited from my mother. There were no thoughts in my head, just a warm bed and a sore body after yesterday's workout. Damn narrow chakra canals. I have not yet come to terms with the fact that I got into a parallel world. I will definitely find a way out. Maybe. But for now we need to work with what we have and try to understand the situation. Then. And now to continue to sleep despite the cries of QB in my head. Oh, quiet. Maybe tired? That's even better. Heck. A wave of fiery poisonous chakra passed through the whole body, causing the body to tremble and roll off the bed to the floor. That bastard. Although the method is effective, you can't say anything. He's gloating, the brute, I can feel it. Barely holding back snorts. Who are you calling a brute? Ah, the heroine of the 5 shinobi nations. At least I didn't bobby, having got into a parallel world. And how much schadenfreude? Where does it just come from? Okay, that's enough. I've already set up a mental connection, so you can communicate with me mentally. And you won't be able to oversleep today anyway. Or have you forgotten that today is the day when young students of the academy get their hitai and become back-gnawing genins for their future sensei? This one spoke slowly and majestically, this one. And then I realized what a day it was. If in my home world it was one of the best days of my life, then here, how would I describe it? I will see the people closest to me again, with burning eyes, unaware of the true life of shinobi with its chases, fights and deaths. With his eyes, without the hidden pain that appeared after the war. Yes, we have recovered from the loss of people dear to us, but the traces of this will remain forever. I should be glad, but the catch is that it's not them. Not my friends with whom we went through fire and water. They will be just stupid, naive and somewhat cruel children, outwardly similar to my friends. And this is not at all joyful. We don't know each other, and the only person who knows me right now is Sasuke. Sasuke. Well, that's right, we'll meet at the distribution. Got it, right? Damn, yes Ku. Got it. Couldn't you have said earlier that we would meet today? It was necessary to come early in order to have time to talk before the distribution, that's what I said. I was running around the apartment and going to the academy, thinking along the way how I should behave. What was Naruto's relationship with her classmates? With whom were you friends, and with whom did you fight? Or did they have a relationship and like him at that time? No, it can't be. Here, his parents are alive, and they would not allow such an attitude to their son, to my daughter. I froze in the middle of the corridor with a pouch in my hands. Mom! Dad! They're alive. But then why does he live alone? Or are they on a mission? But there are no signs in the apartment that anyone else lives here besides me. And the father can't be on a mission in any way, Hokage after all. Then why? Kurama lied? Made a mistake? Rather the second coup? I asked quietly, not knowing if I wanted to know the answer to, I do not know what is the matter, little one. But they're alive, I'm sure of that. Also quietly, and somehow guiltily, he replied. Yeah. I'm sad about something, it's not the case. Get out of the doldrums. We need to think about something good. Let's say about the upcoming presentation of the itachi. Precisely. It will be just awesome. Sasuke and I will be able to be team number 7 again, wean Kakashi-sensei from reading Ero Sennin's books, and we will make Super Kunoichi out of Sakura-chan. Match us. Yes. Well, wait for me, Academy. I'm coming. And you will remember this day forever. Or I'm not Naruto Uzumaki, date Bayo. End POV Naruto. POV Kurama. The kid threw his hand up, clenched it into a fist and ran to the distribution. The gloomy atmosphere disappeared almost immediately. And how does he do it? Mind-boggling. But, probably, it was thanks to this that he pulled me out of the impenetrable abyss of darkness into which I fell. All right. Stop philosophizing, it's time to remind him of a very important thing, Naruto. I hope you haven't forgotten that you've become a girl? And does he talk about himself as a girl? And it is desirable to think too, it's time to break the kid. And then his forehead is too wide on his face. He stopped dead in the middle of the road. On his face, first incomprehension was red, then awareness, and then his face began to display universal sadness. Passers-by who threw contemptuous and pitying glances at him also began to squint strangely, wondering whether to take him away, her to the hospital. Yes, you definitely need to start thinking about her in a feminine way yourself. Set an example, so to speak. I interrupted her indignation with an impulse of my chakra to the head. Into that empty head, what the hell, prid, idiot. Do you want to be considered crazy? Yell in broad daylight that you're not a girl. When will you start thinking already? The blonde. No, seriously, sometimes I just want to wrap her up. So that the uzumaki dope disappears, shoo. Coo. Why yell like that? He groaned inwardly. I growled at him. Loudly. Okay. I got it, Got it. Don't worry so much. Nothing will happen. We just need to get to the topic, and then everything will be on our shoulders. Look what, Aya is joyful. They can do anything. Well, look not above the nose, it's bad for the lungs. Pfft. Did I pick it up from Uchiha? Lived. It hurts that you are something compliant. And now to growl resentfully, and turn away. Let him think that I was offended. End POV Kurama, the sun, which is almost at the zenith, mercilessly baked the inhabitants of Konoha. A blonde about 12 years old running along the main road towards the Shinobi Academy suddenly stopped, and in a few seconds demonstrated a whole range of different emotions. Then she shouted something, stumbled, winced and suddenly smiled and ran on. And after looking at the sun, she generally broke into supersonic speed, realizing that she was late. Naruto's POV. I ran, and to the academy with a clear feeling that no matter how hard I tried, would still be late. The only question is how much. But I'm not used to it. And the people waiting for me, I'm sure, I'm sure too. And yet it's worth hurrying. While I was running, thinking about my family. Or rather, it's absence. Absence in my life. And she, the family, I mean, is. But apparently clearly not next to me. And how is this understood? Maybe we had a fight? But it still doesn't explain why I live alone in an apartment. Or does it explain? I've never had a fight, I quarreled with my family. I didn't have one, and I'm not sure about all these subtleties of family relationships. Damn, and what to do? Who should I ask for advice? Definitely not Sasuke. I know only official communication in the family, or Kurama. I am an evil demon and don't talk to pathetic people. But there is no one else. Ah well, I'll ask Kurama. Stop. Kurama. How does he even know that my family is alive, and even has a brother? Sudat, Kuramushka. Slowly, with feeling, I draw out his name. Almost affectionately. Mentally true, and how do you explain it to me? I hiss indignantly. Again mentally I feel him shudder. Yes, from the first minutes of my stay in this world, I scanned everything I could reach. Ku growls indignantly. Funny how outraged we all are. And what did you reach? Okay, I'm being sarcastic too much. It's not like me. Probably it's all because of nerves. I have to apologize, mentally again. Well, I'm sorry, I'm just nervous about the situation with my family. I can't imagine what happened that the former owner of the body moved into a separate apartment. Or she was evicted. But I can't even imagine that, because she's their daughter. They were silent. So how did you find out about Uchiha and brother? You don't know their chakras. He himself said that everyone has a unique one. I didn't think so, and that it will arouse such interest in me. I mean the Uchiha clan. Well, my brother, too. Yes, unique. But in relatives it is always somewhat similar, depending on the degree of kinship, the chakra of people is more or less similar. Of course, it is also influenced by the type of activity. For example, Inuzuka has more chakra, more wild, like a wolf or a ninja dog. The same goes for Aburame. You can't recognize ninjas in them at all if they don't want to, they're bugs, and they accordingly masterfully control their hearth and the current of the chakra. Or let's take Uzumaki, the chakra of these scarlet-haired devils is boiling with vital energy and phonit, mom do not grieve. Of course, genes played an important role here, but Fuinjutsu also left its mark. So, what am I talking about? Oh, yes. In general, the closer the relative, the more your chakra is similar initially. And also, no and no again. Theory is certainly good, but not for me and not in such quantities, Kurama-sensei. I really love listening to your rude, growling voice broadcasting to me, stupid, sing, all the secrets of the world. But let's get back to the question about my brother and the Uchiha clan. And in general, are you sure that this is the brother? And why Junior? Maybe he's the eldest. Or even the eldest, that's how talents are ruined in the bud. I only suggested about my brother, but he's definitely the youngest. The center of the chakra is developed at the level of a 10-year-old child. Ku patiently explained to me that I skipped at the academy. Or maybe they didn't know about it at all. Biju will be smarter than pathetic little people. In short, this is definitely the youngest child. Congratulations, little sister, now you have a little stupid Ototo, or Imamoto, that's how lucky you are, kick-ass. I haven't even introduced you yet, I'm with him, and I already feel like Itachi. Yeah, listen, have you noticed that you've been talking to me mentally all this time? What's true? Although it's even better this way. At least they won't consider you crazy. I stopped at the gate to the abode of knowledge. In fact, this is the abode of juvenile murderers. Yes, and quite green. Well, let's go. Aha, aha, go shine and conquer the young hearts and minds of future great shinobi. The heiress of the propag, that is, the will of fire. The great and terrible Kubi no Yoko muttered in the background. Here's a beetle, end POV Naruto, morning, how much is in this word, everything. Starting with the joyful screams of those whom parents congratulate on their birthday, ending with the savory curses of those who have a hangover. Or someone just doesn't like to get up early in the morning, shutting off thoughts about work and problems. In general, the morning is different for everyone. And the first morning in a parallel world, where everything is not like at home, is the most difficult and unexpected for a Popatinets, POV Sasuke. I stared at the white ceiling in silence. I tried to understand why I was in my childhood room, in the mansion, as it was before the massacre in the clan. And after all, the last time I fell asleep, it seems, in a hotel, heck. I knew that I would definitely get into trouble somewhere because of this blonde. And I have no doubt that it is because of him. Well, not because of me, right? I got up and looked around. Well, yes, exactly my nursery until the age of 8. I went to the mirror to admire myself. I look about 12 to 13 years old. Is this the time before the Orochimaru pogrom? Wow. I'm a little weakling again. Relatively. But at least I don't have a mark on me, brrr, it's disgusting. I felt branded. I looked around again, I didn't find a hit. So the academy. I washed my face, changed into a black t-shirt with a wide collar and a monomaniac on the back, put on black knee-length shorts, tied a pouch on the left side and grabbed a first aid kit. It's unlikely that it will be useful to me, but this way I feel more complete. I wonder why. Nostalgia started playing? For the last 6 years, I've only been walking with Kusanagi. He tied his arms to the elbow, along with his legs to the top of the ankle, with bandages. I was just about to go out the door when I felt that I was falling into darkness. What a day it is today. I woke up unknown when and unknown where. But no, it is known. In the subconscious. A miniature copy of Kubi no Yoko himself lay impressively in front of me. How honorable. Why did you just get such an honor? I look at him with a question in my eyes. So that's it, you little red-eyed asshole. He began pathetically. Is that how you address yourself? Well, I couldn't resist, I couldn't. We've always disliked each other. Listen, have you become immortal? Or did you discover Flash's abilities in yourself? La Escovo so asked Kubi. I shuddered. And who is Flash? I asked with barely concealed interest. Kubi froze, and frowned, muttering something about damn moving between worlds, with their useless information. I was worried about his mental health. Although what am I talking about? Like Jinchuriki, so is Jubi. I calmed down. Okay, that's enough. The exchange of pleasantries is over, let's get down to business. Have you figured out where we are yet? Well, let's say I understood. And that's it, wonderful. You'll be smarter than some, I hoped. Mockingly, he said it mockingly. I started to boil. Listen carefully. He suddenly became serious. So that's interesting. This is a parallel world, here your clan, as well as the Naruto family are alive. So be ready to meet your family. Tailed grinned, well, yes, brevity is the sister of talent. Of course, I can't imagine how you behaved here, but I suspect that he was the same narcissistic and selfish person, differing from you only in less gloom and a greater thirst for attention. Kurama laughed. It's very funny, but I'm not going to change my behavior, considering that dope will ruin everything anyway and get burned. The brunette snorted. Since you're here, does it mean Naruto is here too? yes, you will be very surprised when you see him, but let it be a surprise. I'm sure you'll like it. Kurama laughed again. That's it, I'm cutting the connection, otherwise your name is called. I woke up in my room, trying to digest all the information I received from the Nine-Tail. It came out tight. It was very difficult to believe that your brother didn't slaughter your entire clan and family. Almost impossible. And what does it even mean? You will be very surprised when you see him. Suddenly someone knocked on the door. Sasuke, are you awake? Go to breakfast, honey. I heard such a dear and forgotten voice of my mother. Something clicked in me. Mom. Live mom. Unharmed. I stormed out of the room into the corridor and stopped dead in my tracks. Heck. This is really not a hallucination. Barely restrained the impulse to rush into her arms. I'm afraid he won't understand. He nodded and went to the kitchen. What to do? How to behave? Is Itachi and his father here too? Of course there's an idiot here. We need to get ready. Don't panic, I said. It's not your family at all. This is the family of the Sasuke whose body you took. Your family is dead and you know it, so don't get emotional. Calm down. Okay, good. And now we analyze. I'm in a parallel world where my clan and Naruto's family live. This is one time. Judging by the calendar that I glanced at, today is the day of distribution by teams and getting Hitaya, so I can talk to Naruto. That's two. I also shouldn't get attached to my family, because everything will be the same as always. Naruto will save this world with my feasible help, and will find a way to return home. I hope in the end I want to go back. This world is a stranger to me. That's three. While I was thinking about all this, not a single muscle twitched on my face. Mom and I went into the kitchen and I bowed to Fugaku and Itachi and sat down at the table to eat. Yes, it was Fugaku and Itachi. They are not my father and brother, we must remember this. After finishing everything quickly, he thanked his mother for a delicious breakfast and rushed to the academy. God forbid the fans will notice. They'll tear you apart for souvenirs and won't notice. And they're screeching, just awful, at least hang yourself. I quickly enter the right class and take my usual place. I inhaled the fresh breeze, ignore the fans who crowded around my desk, and wait for the restless dobe. Nostalgia. The time was nearing the beginning of the call, and Naruto was still not there. A moment later, something blue-green bursts into the classroom, and someone's shadow flashes before my eyes. Turning my head to the middle of the class, I saw a very beautiful girl with blonde hair braided in a braid, blue eyes, and 3 stripes on each cheek. No, well, the spitting image of Naruto. Only the girly version. Maybe a twin sister? After all, Kurama said that now he has a family. Oh. Uchiha, hello. Said this blonde miracle and, pushing the whole crowd, sat down to me. Listen, Naruto, aren't you impudent by the hour? Since when have you been sitting with Sasuke-kun? Sakura asked angrily, instantly appearing next to my desk. Haven't you received it for a long time, mumble? Naruto? Maybe there are just other names here. Or is there no hope? So Sasuke, don't panic. Damn, this is the second time I've said this morning. So this blonde is my best friend? Fucking, Ian. Damn it. Kurama, the goat. Such news should be reported immediately, and not make a surprise out of it. Is that you for me? Asked, and Naruto, who had been looking at me expectantly until that time. Wait. Then we'll discuss plans, I'm not up to it right now. Imagine, your best friend, almost a younger brother, suddenly becomes a girl. Introduced? And now try to put up with it. Well, who do you think is a mumbler here? Am I? Sakura replied aggressively. It was obvious that she was furious. But again, I was not up to it. Get out of here. Otherwise, what else? Naruto stood up. It sounded somehow doomed tired. So, okay, kind of resigned, it seems, but it's time to intervene. We still have to work with this pink-haired woman in the team. At least until the Chunin exam, but before the commotion could begin, Iruka-sensei entered the classroom. Ha, sensei, it turns out that you have a lot of sense. Thanks, what's going on here? Iruka-san looked tired, but rather happy. Of course, not every day the most problematic class is released, and even all the children of the heads of clans. Today is your happiest day. Today you will get a Hitayata and become a Konoha shinobi. Be proud. That's a big word. Loud and pretentious. Listen carefully, now I will announce the list of teams. This is important, because those people with whom you will work before becoming Chunins will trust you with their lives, and you will trust them with yours. Even more pathetic, but that's how it is. I covered Naruto's back during the fight all the time, and he always did it for me. And we trusted each other as ourselves. Even when I was a nuke-nin, I knew that I could trust him, and after Sakura's attempt to kill me. And he trusted me so much that I could enter his personal space after the war, without consequences. But even Kakashi-sensei had to reveal himself in advance. And then Rasen Shuriken in the forehead will give, and won't even notice. The kids quieted down, enthusiastically catching every word of Iruka. I think they have already imagined steep battles, at the risk of their lives, and sonorous nicknames. And also how bravely they save their comrades. Naive. But don't be afraid, potatoes don't bite. Now I will read out the list of teams and their mentors. So, I didn't listen further, studying the new image of Naruto. Long, and even very silky looking, hair braided in a braid, with a few stray strands on the left side that fell to the lips. The lips are plump. A beautiful face with regular features, and not yet completely gone baby plumpness on the cheeks. I just want to cuddle. Still angular, but already beginning to form a figure. Neat hands and thin wrists. Slender legs. In general, the children's version of sexy no Naruto jutsu. And just a hyperactive character. These future fans do not know what kind of an all in the ass of this atomic bomb. But I know. And the shinobi world will soon find out too. So, I got distracted. Neru watched the change of emotions on the faces of the children with curiosity in her eyes. Well, yes, this is not the umbu, which you can't read. Green Genins. Like an open book. Team number 7, Haruno Sakura, Uchiha Sasuke, Sakura's joyful squeal and a friendly groan from the rest of the female half of the class went through the audience. Except maybe Hinata, and Naruto. And Namikaze Naruto, sensei, Hatake Kakashi. That's where the class precipitated. Did they seriously not know Naruto's last name? Or have you already forgotten her, subconsciously not connecting Naru with the family of the fourth Hokage? But why? Too little information. Meanwhile, the class was looking at the blonde in bewilderment and disbelief. How is it? A mumble and a weakling, the daughter of the fourth Hokage? It can't be. Naruto apparently got tired of it, so she asked Iruka-sensei to continue to announce the list of teams. I showed him. She gestures with the special encryption of the umbu that she needs to meet, today after meeting Kakashi-sensei, at her house. I didn't dare bring Naruto to me, you never know how the clan will react. She agreed. During this lesson, I did not notice how the class jumped up from their seats, rushing to Iruka-sensei's table, where he laid out the hitai. And then the Hunins came in for their spinograzami, that is, students, and went to get acquainted. We didn't hope for Sensei's quick arrival, knowing full well that he would be 5 hours late. Well, me and the blonde. Sakura, on the other hand, patiently looked at the doors, hoping that Kakashi stayed for a while. Naive, while the third member of the team was suffering from bullshit, Naruto and I decided to discuss a line of conduct with Kakashi-sensei. Having previously put a silencing barrier, of course. We agreed that we would behave as usual and not shine for the time being. We will not show any knowledge, unless we allow ourselves to make fun of him during acquaintance. But we couldn't deny ourselves that. I have to somehow take revenge on him for the fact that he will become a sensei for me only before the third stage of the Chunin exam, and for Naru in general only by the age of 16. But this time we will squeeze all the juices out of him, despite the fact that we seem to be the strongest shinobi in the world, except for the most powerful elemental and summoning techniques with their varieties, we know almost nothing. I mean standard shinobi techniques, class below A. Naruto didn't teach those at all, but, preferring only killer jutsu. About the fact that these techniques with our enemies were useless even at the age of 13, and something weaker than shadow clones, or Chidori could not put them down, I will wisely keep silent. We can't shine in front of Danzo and the elders of Chidori Nagashi and Rasen Shuriken. And it's not worth it in front of families. Especially since these bodies are clearly not ready for this. Damn it! How unusual it is to see your best friend as a woman. It's just unthinkable. And how to get used to this? While discussing their insidious plans to take over the world, that is, Kakashi, Sakura apparently became completely disappointed in our sensei and now glared at Naruto with a look, jealously watching Naru and I, fenced off by a barrier, talking about something. I've never understood this trait of hers. I don't really belong to her, and I'm certainly not her boyfriend. From the word at all. After finishing the conversation, I removed the barrier. Sakura immediately ran up to Naru, arranging an interrogation with partiality. What were you talking about with Sasuke-kun? Mumble. Probably decided to take it away from me. It won't work, Sasuke-kun is mine. I watched with ecstasy the confusion and misunderstanding on the blonde's face. He always considered Sakura almost an angel. Yes, love is evil. What are you talking about, Sakura-chan? Uchiha and I were discussing how to take revenge on Sensei for being late. Yes, that's right. Right topic? They stared at me expectantly and menacingly. TC, will call me Uchiha, I'll start calling her Yuzum, Namikaze. It seems like we agreed 2 years ago to address each other by their first names. From his mouth it sounds like an insult, HM. It might have seemed to anyone else that it sounded emotionless, but Naruto easily discerned my dissatisfaction here. This was especially clear from the gleam of malevolent eyes. Zaratsu, what are you? This is our future sensei. The mouth says one thing, but the eyes are completely different. Exactly. This is our sensei, and we have to teach him not to be late, date Bayo. Otherwise, we will spend half our lives waiting for him. And anyway, Sakura-chan, don't you think the same? Eyes are the mirror of the soul, do you know such a saying? Sakura looked at her in surprise, then shyly lowered her head, and in the end just turned away. Yes, Naru, your oratorical abilities have not decreased at all, that's good, date Bayo. In general, while the blonde was installing the brush on the door, I clearly understood several things. The first is that we have a catastrophic lack of information. And this is already a big problem. The second is that I need to kill 4 hours of time somehow. But it's not difficult anymore. I'll just do some meditation. In general, Sensei came in 3.5 hours. More precisely, his clone came. I wouldn't be surprised if there is also only a copy of it on the roof. When I finished my meditation, satisfied with my current physical and spiritual form, justice prevailed. Naru also came out of meditation, phlegmatically looking at Sensei with a brush on his head. Sakura, on the other hand, was almost jumping up and rejoicing in this petty revenge, thereby dumping all suspicions on herself. Well, it's not anyone's fault that she doesn't know how to control her emotions. Kakashi, after examining our company, stopped at Sakura, looking at her with displeasure. When he saw my condition with the blonde after meditation, he flashed his eyes approvingly. And yet, first impression, I don't like you. Sakura heard this, jumped up from her seat and chattered, "Excuse me, sensei. It's all on, that's enough. It's hot in here. Let's meet on the roof." After saying that, Kakashi disappeared, leaving behind only a cloud of smoke. Show off, Sakura looked at Naruto with hatred. She just shrugged her shoulders phlegmatically, apparently the residual effect of meditation. Naruto has always been strangely affected by this state. I got up and went to the window, went out along the wall to the roof. Naru did the same. Only Sakura blinked in surprise. And she went out of the classroom to look for a ladder to the roof. "So, I think we can start, Kakashi-sensei, you will be so late, and you will not get off with a simple brush. HH? So you installed it?" I shake my head negatively, it means that she is still pink-haired. He said this in the affirmative. I shake my head again. Then who, is he a moron? Naruto, short and clear. I hope he understands. It's hanging there. Naruto. Why yell like that, eh? Oh Kakashi-sensei. You've already arrived. Half an hour earlier than we thought. Bayo, what? Why did it sound dumbfounded? What was the last thing you said, Bayo? And what? That's right, why? He looked at her strangely. What's going on here? Oh, Sakura has come. Hello, sensei, yes, Naruto, when did you start using that word? Well, a couple of days ago, here. Yes, exactly, a couple of days ago. But what happened? It's not like it's some special word that means something. He looked at her intently. Then he shook his head and started intimidating us. No, nothing. So. I am Kakashi Hatake, Hunin Kanohi, and your future sensei. Maybe. It depends on you. What I love and what I don't doesn't concern you. You are not interested in my dreams. Now you. Sakura was stunned by this, but she decided to start first. My name is Haruno Sakura, Genin. I dream of getting married to, I love. All this time she looked at me, blushed, and looked again. Horror. And I don't like Naruto. Here. Is she because of our conversation in the barrier? Piz, peck. Kick ass. Apparently Kakashi-sensei was of the same opinion. What? Why? Okay. I am Naruto Uzumaki. I love a lot of things and I don't like a lot of things. I dream of becoming a Kage. Kakashi and I looked at her dumbfounded. I guess it's for about the same reason. Maybe Hokage? Sensei kindly offered. No. Kage. Damn it. Yes, when it's at negative. Have her goals changed? And why don't I know about it? I feel transferred, how? It sounded doomed. It seems that with every word she says, he is convinced of something. That's none of your business, sensei. And anyway, why did we stop at me? I haven't introduced myself to the topic yet. Bayo. Kakashi looked at me thoughtfully and nodded. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I don't like a lot of things and I don't like a lot of things. Dream, really, what is my dream? Go back home? It's more of a duty. I looked around at everyone thoughtfully and stopped at Naru. Then he looked away. I don't have a dream, but I have a goal. I have to help one person with his purpose in life and purpose. Sensei nodded approvingly. Apparently we puzzled him a lot since he forgot about the intimidation and got straight to the point. Great. Tomorrow morning, at 6 o'clock, I will conduct my own test. He was accompanied by my sensei, and his sensei, and his sensei, and his sensei's sensei. So you can consider it an honor. Those who fail will return to the academy. And yes, I won't be late. Till tomorrow. And he disappeared again in a puff of smoke. May the information from the clone find you running. They paused thoughtfully and began to disperse. Well, how to disperse, Sasuke-kun? Let's celebrate becoming a shinobi in a cafe. It started. I almost groaned out loud, no. But Sasuke-kun, no. Sakura, haven't you heard about fail and return to the academy? We haven't passed yet. Go home. While she was digesting the grief of the universal scale, I grabbed Naruto by the arm and left the academy. Well. Are we going to think over a plan to take over the world? End POV. Sasuke. It was definitely a hot day. This was the unanimous opinion of all residents of Konoha. The sun beat down mercilessly. But on this day, new shinobi are being released from the academy. The clan children's classroom was in chaos. Teenagers are very violently discussing the topic of distribution. And so a very noisy audience, after the arrival of Sasuke Uchiha, was filled with the screeching of the female half of the class. All the girls crowded around the brunette's desk, starting to squeak and chatter. It really annoyed the opposite sex. All the boys mentally wished patience and good luck to Uchiha, again starting to talk among themselves on the topic of who will be on the team with whom. The weather was hot outside and the room was stuffy, so the windows were wide open. A girl with blonde hair was running quickly down the alley, realizing that a little more and she would be late. Passers-by made way for her, because no one wanted to go to the hospital. When she got to a large two-story building and checked the time, the blonde realized that she would not have time to go to class if she went up the stairs, so when she saw the open window to the office she needed, she climbed the wall without hesitation and entered the building in such an unusual way. Unexpectedly for everyone in the classroom, a blonde burst through the window. At the same moment, there was a deathly silence. Everyone stared at Naruto in disbelief and tried to figure out what had just happened. Turning her head in different directions, her gaze came across Sasuke. Oh! Uchiha, hello! The blonde shouted at the whole class. POV. Shikamaru, having woken up this morning, thrown out of bed by my mother and with a feeling of something grandiose, I had breakfast and went to the academy. Away from this problematic woman. Ooh, how this noise prevents you from falling asleep. Why can't they talk calmly instead of yelling? I would like to watch the clouds on the street now. Putting my head on the desk, I tried to fall asleep in this farce. At some point, getting used to this fuss, I was going to fall asleep, but it became too quiet. Raising my head, I saw Naruto in the middle of the class. Strange. Usually she comes to class first, but today she was late, though. Everything happens for the first time. I know my best friend well. Few people communicate with her, thinking that she shames the Hokage with her weakness, but I once did not depend on someone else's opinion, prefers to choose my own social circle. And judge people by their personal qualities. They can be recognized both immediately and only by communicating with people for a long time. To understand that Naru was a great person, it was only necessary to talk to her, but it took much longer to get to know her herself. And you also have to be a good person, because this blonde literally sees through people. I met her at the academy, in the second week of training. She was depressed and very offended by someone. As it turned out later on, his father. Being a modest, but very sociable girl, she talked and talked. She had to remove everything that had accumulated in her short life. That her father doesn't want to understand why she refuses to develop her potential. That the geniuses he wants to see her with always end up badly, having a tragic fate. That because of this, her family is in disarray. That people judge her only by the power of shinobi. And about how she wants to be an ordinary civilian with a peaceful life. I don't know why Naruto trusted me then, but I can say with confidence that I know even more about her than her own family. Naruto was modest, but brave, very peaceful and not conflicted. She hated violence, and was very strong spiritually. Even the most obscene shinobi who went through the war would envy her inner core. And yet, despite her quiet nature, she was stubborn as a sheep. And of course we must not forget that she is half uzumaki, and this by definition defies logic and analysis. I know that one day the uzumaki blood will take its toll, and then it will really blossom. And I am sure that this will happen. There were precedents. It's true that it's a little scary that it can bloom there, but I try not to think about it courageously. We spent a lot of time together, and every day I clearly understood how stupid people are, if they judge by the cover, and that this is the most amazing person on the planet. We often lay on the roofs of houses and silently looked at the clouds. This silence was not at all oppressive and did not strain in any way, but on the contrary relaxed and was pleasant. After a few minutes of silence, Naruto shouted something to the whole class, and this was also unusual. I had vague suspicions, and that feeling of something grandiose just howled. But having driven him away from me, I ignored everything that the blonde said, once again tried to fall asleep, and POV Shikamaru, POV Hinata. I was sitting at my desk and waiting for my friend Naruto-chan to come. Apparently she overslept today, since she's been gone for so long. Naruto-chan couldn't miss the day of getting Hitai. Of course, she passed the written test by 95%, but the practical exam was barely passed, because Naruto-chan was quite weak in this regard. But she was the best friend you could ever dream of. Naruto-chan, though she was a quiet person, but a sociable, sensitive and very stubborn person. It is interesting to listen to her, it is pleasant for her to tell something. We are somewhat similar to her, many laugh at her because she is weak as a shinobi. Not many people know that Naruto-chan is the daughter of the fourth Hokage. They don't know her at all. And she doesn't like to talk about it herself. About a year ago, Shikamaru-kun and I were staying at her house. As it turned out, Naruto-chan lives alone in an apartment. She's probably at odds with her parents, I thought then. As it turned out, I was right. When Shikamaru-kun asked her about it, we thought she wouldn't say anything. She never blamed her problems on anyone at all, she didn't even talk about them. I helped everyone myself, but I didn't let myself be helped. She was silent for a few minutes, but still decided to tell about how she quarreled with her father. Apparently it boiled over. Naruto-chan said that Hokage-sama is dependent on public opinion, and because of this he wants to ruin the life of her younger brother. That the way he loads him will not lead to anything good, and what he is going to do to him will doom him to an unhappy life. As a result, she moved into an apartment that her father bought her so that she would leave, having quarreled with him to the nines, but she defended her opinion, and according to her, now he has nothing to threaten. Everything was said in general terms, without details, but it was even more than we thought to find out. Although the fact of the scandal personally shocked me a lot. Shikamaru-kun just shrugged his shoulders and smiled mysteriously, saying something about genes and sleeping heritage. After Naruto-chan burst into the classroom, I was glad she came. Although the way she did it really surprised me. And then something happened that even I didn't expect. Naruto-chan shouting, "Oh!" Uchiha hello, shouting. Considering that I never heard her scream at all, I sat down at the same desk with Sasuke-kun. It was very strange. Maybe her dormant demon Uzumaki, as Shikamaru-kun often says, has finally woken up? Sasuke-kun also didn't react to it in almost any way, except for a scrutinizing glance in her direction, and POV Hinata, POV Sakura, today is my happiest day. Not only will I become a shinobi, but I will also get into the same team with Sasuke-kun, I'm sure of it. Already sitting at my desk, I carefully look at the doors to the classroom. Oh, that's him. He's coming in. Coming in. As always, perfect. Ah. He changed his clothing style to a darker one. How it suits him. Everything suits him. After all, he is perfect. My favorite Sasuke-kun. While I was admiring my future husband, I flew into the classroom through the window. Naruto? Are you sure this is our mumble? After standing there for a while and smiling dazzlingly, she shouted something and sat down to my Sasuke-kun. I instantly found myself near this upstart, and put her in her place. Well, I tried. Is she contradicting me? Who is she? How dare you? Just as I was about to teach this impudent girl a lesson, Iruka-san came into the classroom. Sensei. Why are you so out of time? He began to congratulate us on graduation from the academy, and instructed us on the way forward. I immediately imagined how Sasuke-kun and I, performing a terribly important task, were fighting with a terribly strong ninja. Sasuke-kun hits him like that. And I'm like this. And he throws a shuriken at me and Sasuke-kun, but I'm not confused. She repulsed all 2 shells and Sasuke-kun finished off the enemy. And then, in gratitude for the rescue and also because he loves me very much, but was too shy to admit, he offers to meet us. And then we have, but my vision of the future was interrupted by Iruka-sensei, who began to read out the list of commands. I listened attentively to everything he said. Butterfly. How beautiful. And, team number 7, Haruno Sakura, Uchiha Sasuke, yeah. I knew. I knew. This is fate, we will definitely get married. Did you eat it, Ino pig? I'm on the same team as Sasuke-kun. And Namikaze Naruto, sensei, Hatake Kakashi, oh? Not only did this upstart intend to take away my Sasuke-kun, she got into the team with my ideal, so she also turns out to be the daughter of Hokage. What if Sasuke-kun falls in love with her instead of me because of this? No way. It's nonsense. She's a weakling. Mumbler. Yes, Sakura, exactly a mumble. MIMLI. That's it, but you should still be polite. Iruka-sensei spread out the hitai on his desk. We immediately ran up to him and began to choose a bandage for ourselves. So, what a difficult choice. After all, this hitai will be protected. Ooh, how beautiful. It's red. Almost crimson. Almost pink. Mine. I want. Yeah. Hooray, I have the most beautiful hitayata, that's it, sensei. I'm disappointed in you. Is it possible to be so late? Okay. I'd rather try to get Sasuke-kun's attention. Who? That Naruto again? What is she doing next to my Sasuke-kun? Probably trying to seduce him. I won't let you. What are they talking about there? So, about, I can't hear. Why can't I hear what this Mimra is saying to my future husband? Heck. Sasuke-kun put up a barrier. They grinned insidiously at the same time. At the same time. Smoothly. Synchronously. This is the end. Sasuke-kun removes the technique. Well, we'll figure it out now. What were you talking about with Sasuke-kun? Mumble. Probably decided to take it away from me. It won't work, Sasuke-kun is mine. Ha. She was confused. That's it. She will know how to steal other people's husbands. What are you talking about, Sakura-chan? Uchiha and I were discussing how to take revenge on Sensei for being late. Yes, that's right. Right topic? What's going on? How dare she call Sasuke that K? Revenge plan? For such a long delay? Well, that's pretty. Stop, what are you? This is our future sensei. I tried to talk you out of it. Don't agree, exactly. This is our sensei, and we have to teach him not to be late, date Bayo. Otherwise, we'll spend half our lives waiting for him. And anyway, Sakura-chan, don't you think the same? Eyes are the mirror of the soul, do you know such a saying? I looked at her in surprise. What was it about now? Oh, damn, how embarrassing. I was disgraced in front of Sasuke-kun. Now he will never love me, we will not be able to get married and, so Sakura, you got carried away in the wrong place. Decent girls can't imagine that. She turned away. Out of harm's way. At least I tried to stop her, that's good, date Bayo. It all happened too fast. So Sasuke-kun sat down to meditate, and Naruto repeated after him. I also tried to practice meditation, but as it turned out, it's not so easy. I went up to Naruto and pulled her. She didn't react. Damn it. Even Mumbly did it. After 3.5 hours, our sensei comes into the classroom. The brush falls on his head and I rejoice in this petty revenge like a child. Probably because of this, he thought that I had set a trap. Arg. It's all Namikaze's fault. But sensei doesn't want to listen, and told us to go to the roof, disappears in a cloud of smoke. Cool, Sasuke-kun and Naruto were able to climb the wall. How? Heck. I can't do that. I go to the roof through the stairs. I greet Sensei, but he doesn't notice me, asking Naruto about something. It's her again. Then he introduces himself to us, essentially saying only his name, but we already know him. When Sasuke-kun introduces himself, I don't know what to think. Why did he look so intently at Namikaze before telling about the dream? That is, Uzumaki. Although this is also amazing. What kind of Uzumaki? She's a Namikaze. I'm confused. And yet why? I don't like it at all. It feels as if something new, very important, is being born now, something that will change the world in the future. But this is nonsense. I just overheated. It's too hot today. When Kakashi-sensei finished his speech and disappeared again in a puff of smoke, I tried to ask Sasuke-kun out on a date. It didn't work out. He refused me, and he took Namek somewhere, Uzumaki. Mimra. I won't leave it like this. End POV Sakura, POV of Kakashi. This morning I woke up with an insistent feeling of a grandiose Arctic fox. I don't know who or where, but it's definitely something grandiose and definitely white and fluffy. And I'm used to trust my Chuka. She has never let me down. On the calendar is the day of graduation from the academy of a new batch of Spinogrizov. Excellent. Minato-sensei will try to sell me some dorms again, that is, Geninov. Okay, I'll spend 2 days with them and go celebrate the extension of bachelor life. Although the feeling of white and fluffy does not leave, having quickly gone for a folder with a dossier on potential students, God forbid, to Sensei, I saw him in a broken down look. I suspected something was wrong, Minato-sensei. Are you alright? Did you quarrel with Kusanai-san again and spent the night at the residence, eh? What? Kakashi? How did you get here? After all, I locked the doors, kind of. So yeah, I usually do, and the window as always, shopping center. I forgot, I'm sorry. So, are you for the student dossier, potential, Minato-sensei? I corrected. I don't advise you to give them up. Kushina, along with Mikoto and Enko-chan, made a list of teams for 3 days. As they said, to help me, although I suspect they are just up to something. But, we can't understand female logic, so just accept it. By the way, how was the last assignment? You were gone for 3 months, Kushina and her son were worried. Ma. Just a feudal lord caught a rare piece of shit, capricious. We made a 2-week journey for 3 months. Imagine sensei 3 months. Okay, are you still in sore with Naru? He thinks I won't notice his reservations with. Kushina and her son were worried. As if Naruto wasn't worried. Sensei grimaced. I told you not to talk about her. It's all her fault. I got it into my head that all strong shinobi have a happy fate. Made such a scandal. And Kushina is good. Supported this nonsense. As if I have a bad life. Tell me, Kakashi, do I have a bad life? Yeah. It seems someone broke through. Otherwise, this was to be expected. Because of the political tension, Minato-sensei has a rift in his family. Especially with baby Naru. They just don't understand each other, they have the same goal, and the way to achieve it is different. Everyone who is closely acquainted with the Namikaze family knows and understands the position of both father and daughter, but no one can find a compromise. And about a year ago they made a big scandal right in the residence. Minato-sensei wanted to, however, it doesn't matter. Sensei is waiting for an answer. Minato-sensei, don't swear. What if Kushina-san finds out? Then a month of sleeping on the couch will not do. I know Kakashi, I'm sorry. Snapped. There's been too much bad news lately. Did you know that I sent an invitation to the Chunin exam to all 5 countries? Yes, you said that. They wanted to show that Konoha is still strong, and hoped that 1 or 2 countries would come here. The exam is in 6 months. Is something wrong? Not so radically everything. Because all 5 countries have agreed to participate. All 5, damn it. It's not enough for me that Konoha will essentially become a battlefield, so Uzushio also recently announced that he will stay here with the entire embassy. Kakashi to everyone. You understand, to everyone. It wouldn't be enough for me to have Uzumaki here, so the head of the clan will also arrive. The last sentence sounded so doomed that I realized he would seek political asylum. Well, yes, he didn't tell the chapter about the situation with, in general, I have a shit. A hell of a lot to do. So go and meet your new team, and I'll keep getting depressed. Hey. He's kicking me out. Well, okay, sensei, I don't really want to sit here with you. I'm going to read Jirai-san's book or something. It's not solid for me to come on time, it's not solid, I safely forgot about the dossier. In vain, for nothing. Walking along the corridor of the academy, I felt the Arctic fox coming closer and closer. Upon entering the classroom, I felt a foreign object on my head. Looked around. Yeah. A pink-haired person. Almost bouncing enjoys this prank. So it's her, interesting. Next sat Uchiha Sasuke, Itachi's brother. I know this pepper, a narcissistic and boastful fellow, although the potential is no less than that of an older brother, and the last one was. And it would be fine just to be, but it was Naruto. Naruto. Damn Kushina-san, you're going to drive me to my grave. It is necessary to warn. That's right. Dossier. In general, Naruto apparently meditated, as well as Sasuke. Ooh, she's disoriented. Strange, this has never happened before. I tell everyone to go to the roof and unwind. I've done my job. I'm standing on the roof of the academy, digesting what I got from the second clone of the original. Well, Kushina-san, she made friends. I look at the stairs waiting for the guys, but I feel the chakra of the blonde and the brunette behind my back. Wow. Yes, they already know how to walk on walls. I wonder how much I've missed in these 3 months. The subsequent conversation, as well as the acquaintance with the guys, I will remember for a long time. I wonder when I left the village, 3 months ago or 3 years ago. Since when does Naruto say date Bayo and take revenge on me for being late? He dreams of becoming a Kage, and it would be okay for a Hokage, but no. Kage. And what does not speak, a stubborn partisan. Maybe this is what Kushina-san was talking about. But then what about Fugaku-san's youngest son? I definitely don't know something. And I really don't like it. Okay, I've done my job, let the original deal with it all. I jump from roof to roof, heading to the residence. I recently received information from the first clone. It's necessary to report everything to Minato-sensei. The information from the second clone finds me running. Damn it! Fell off the roof right in the middle of the road. Yeah. I missed a lot. I burst into Sensei's office and closed the window behind me. Minato, Sensei, you won't believe it. He looks up at me with his tired eyes. It looks even worse than in the morning. What else is Kakashi? Were the students surprised? Congratulations. Ha. You probably haven't read the dossier either. And so, the first member of team number 7 is Sakura Haruno. Kakashi, I'm really not interested. I've got my hands full as it is. The second member of the team is Uchiha Sasuke. I'm sorry. Now get out of my office. And the third and last member of the team is Naruto Uzumaki. A surprise from my wife. Tebeo, look how animated. Immediately jumped up. And it looked fresher. This is unheard of. 2 girls and 1 boy in a team. Yes, and what? Uzumaki and Uchiha together. Does she even suspect what kind of mixture it will be? Even considering that from Uzumaki there is only a surname. The blood is sleeping. Sensei has already muttered the last sentence, and this is probably for the best. Well, I'll have to break you off. Sensei. I asked quietly. He is clearly not adequate now. Not sleeping for a week, is it a joke? I don't want to upset you, but it seems the Uzumaki blood has woken up after all. Oh. Jumped up again, what? And how crushed. How hoarsely it was said. But they are to blame. The fact that Neru was a calm and reasonable child did not mean that after a while she would not awaken the great legacy of all Uzumaki. We are the most reckless and illogical shinobi of the whole world. Now let's see how you get along with her, considering that for a year now your relationship can be characterized by the Cold War. Sensei, it's your own fault. Because of the stubbornness of both of you, a new Kushina-san will soon be brawling around the village. Of course I didn't find those times, but according to eyewitnesses there was no escape from it. And nothing will be rowdy. We'll make up and be like a son, Minato-sensei. I interrupted him. Do you even understand the difference between your daughter and your son? Besides Paul? They have completely different worldviews. And what suits him doesn't suit her. What do you suggest I do? I'm listening carefully. Well? Gone, I thought. Maybe we'll just see how things go. You never know, after all, your daughter is special in everything. Perhaps it will also take a ride here? It seems Sensei didn't like this solution very much. But it's his own fault that after the birth of his son he completely forgot about his daughter. But it happened during that period, apparently I have no other choice. Kakashi, I really ask you to look after Naruto. Now I have to prepare for the Chunin exam. And it's better for me not to see Naruto once again. I'll do my best, Sensei, I'll do my best. Something important was scratching at the back of my mind. I almost forgot. As far as I remember, Naruto agreed with you about changing your last name in order to have as little in common with Hokage-sama as possible. And you agreed, so that there would be no scandal, to give her permission to do this after passing the Genin exam. Did I remember everything correctly? Sensei nodded sullenly. In general, I suspect that by introducing herself with the surname of Kushina-san during the acquaintance, she wanted to remind you of this. That's just me, by the way that I left the Hokage's office through the door. So many Umbu who knew me while still serving in this unit looked after me in surprise. Well, yes, my passion to use windows as a door is equivalent to Anko's passion to fly in and out of them, while breaking glass, and yet this white and fluffy one did not lag behind me. No, seriously, guys, who lost this puppy? To run after me all day. Kakashi's end POV. 5 o'clock in the evening. The sun, which was infamously hot in the morning, began to lose momentum. Two genins are walking down the street, weaving between passers-by, talking quietly to each other. Dobe, do we really have to go towards the residence? Shinobi houses are located in the middle ring, in the inner hospital, shops for ninja, academy and apartments of wealthy civilians. Sasuke asked the blonde. Yes. And in the outside? Naru asked. Are you serious? You've lived here all your life. Still haven't learned, A sea of skepticism and distrust. Yes, I didn't teach, do I need it, to fill my head with all sorts of nonsense? Or will it help me become the strongest shinobi in the history of mankind? You're at it again, aren't you? The brunette asked wearily. But he answered the question. There are houses and apartments of ordinary civilians in the outer ring. They are protected by the territories of the Konoha clans. And then there is a wall with a Fuin barrier. So what about the direction? Didn't I tell you? Apparently I forgot, it slipped my mind, haha. Naruto mumbled nervously. Are you something? Sasuke drawled threateningly. He clearly didn't like indecision, usually straight Uzumaki. So something is bothering him or upset him. But the most annoying thing is that Naru didn't tell him about it right away. He used to, and if she talked about her problems, it was only to him. Sasuke treasured it very much, and frankly it flattered him. Maybe the fact is that they still could not talk normally. To be honest, I don't know anything myself yet, the blonde replied sullenly. It was obvious that this was seriously bothering her. Kurama said only that he felt the chakra of his parents and, very similar to yours, presumably brother. I have not yet seen these parents and, presumably brother, themselves. I only know that I live in a large, 3-room apartment, furnished with high quality, with excellent financial protection. It seems that this is the only hint that the parents are alive. The daughter of Hokage after all. What if there was an attempt? In general, I only got here yesterday morning, and I've been training at our training ground all day. And today, as soon as I got up, I went to the academy. There was no time for a thorough examination of things that would somehow clarify the situation. The blonde concluded, not much. At all. The situation is getting weirder and weirder. However, When was it in Adventures with Naruto that everything was immediately clear? True, always. But this seems to be a different case, so we don't know anything yet. It will be necessary to carefully inspect the entire apartment. Perhaps we will stumble upon an album or a diary of the last owner of the body. Sasuke said decisively that he only now noticed the position in which they had been walking all this time. So that no one would accidentally hear them, Sasuke came close to Naru, slightly tilting his head closer to the girl's ear. From the outside, it looked like they were with Naruto. No, it's kind of stupid to even think about it. Nevertheless, Sasuke blushed deeply, and considering that he is an Uchiha, this is already a feat, and bounced off Naru by a meter. Yes, it's definitely better this way. You never know what rumors will go. He wasn't going to attract too much attention at all. Naruto looked at him in surprise. Topic, what are you doing? And, however, it doesn't matter. We've already arrived. Naruto's POV opened the door to the apartment. It was on the 3rd floor. This is despite the fact that the house, albeit large, is only 3 stories high. But it's even better this way. Come in, I made an inviting gesture with my hand. Make yourself at home. Taking off our shoes, we went into the living room. While Sasuke was looking around the apartment, I was making tea. Topic, what kind of tea do you want? I shouted so that Uchiha could hear. Is there anything stronger? Oh. He likes to insert his 5 kopecks, just like a chicken. Take what they give you, you insolent muzzle, and what about kurama at once? I'm just sharing my considerable life experience and invaluable opinion. And anyway, how dare you compare me with this, Uchiha? The tailed one spoke up. Ooh, is the red collar awake? Where is my calendar? It should be noted. Rude girl. I'll take it and leave you. Firstly, Sasuke is only 13 years old, getting drunk in our case is not an option. At least until we know the extent of the ass we're in. I decided that he wouldn't mind strong black tea. I made myself green. After putting the cups of tea on the coffee table, we began debriefing. Dobe, do you remember anything before we got here? Sasuke asked a question. Stop. Please put up a noise barrier. I have some problems with chakra canals. Nothing serious. Irreparable, at least for sure. I hastened to add, seeing how Sasuke's eyes flashed with concern and was trying to ask something. Okay, he muttered discontentedly, quickly folding the necessary seals. It was obvious that he did not like the turn the situation was taking. So, the last thing I remember is falling asleep, and in the hotel. And I got here yesterday morning. And maybe at night, you never know how long I was unconscious. And how are you doing with your family? I don't know what kind of relationship the previous owner of the body had, but I'm not going to recognize them as my family. That's not so. Sasuke said with pain in his voice, but firmly. I just shook my head. I understand why you think that. I don't remember if I told you, but this is not my first experience with a parallel world. The topic raised an eyebrow, indicating that he was listening attentively. For my first time, I didn't fully accept those Minato and Kushina as my family. Perhaps in the end my opinion changed due to the fact that I never knew my real parents. That's where you and I differ, but at least try to recognize them as your relatives. There is no trial either, And yet I'm good. If we take into account that the topic we have is Uchiha, so he is also extremely stubborn in himself, it is very difficult to make him think about the correctness of what he has decided. Okay, we'd like to find out now what we have left of the forces from the past world. QB didn't say anything, exactly. I slapped my forehead. Kurama. Hey, friend, can't you scan us? If our souls were transported here, then the power given to us by Rikudo has not disappeared? She seemed to be attached to her soul. What are you talking about? Finally remembered. Not even 100 years have passed. However, you quickly caught on. And they remembered about me, right? And why is it so snide? Are you offended? We've been busy. We have no time to chat with huge, nine-tailed, overly curious foxes. However, what else can we expect from you, pitiful people? Of course, the power of Rikudo is with you. But it will have to be awakened anew. The only plus is that you are mentally ready for this. It is only necessary that physically it turned out to be sustained, and a small emotional shock. It's the same with your Sharingan, Sasuke. When your body is ready, a small emotional outburst is enough, and a new stage will open, and a new stage will open. That's it, I didn't say anything else. I probably went to bed. Again. With a heavy sigh, I finished retelling Kurama's answer. Hn. So what are we going to do, what's the plan? How did we even get here? I don't think Ku knows anything about it. He would have told me. It would be nice to first find out about the differences between this parallel and ours. But that's for later. To begin with, you need to become full-fledged geniuses, and then according to the situation, and I smiled, and with your most charming smile. Oh. It seems to have worked, look how Sasuke blushed. I couldn't help but laugh. Apparently my charms are working. I wonder if this is the case with all women, or just me. Okay, Naruto, I have to go, Fugaku and Mikoto will worry, and I don't want to attract too much attention. You look for something like a diary, or something like that. We need to get more information. Sasuke said, getting up from the sofa and removing the barrier. Yeah. I know what it is. Before I could finish, someone knocked on the door. I quickly went to open the door, wondering who could have been brought here in principle. In the doorway stood a bloody habanero of his own, rather smiling person. Mom. What are you doing here? I decided to check out my only daughter. She smiled, solemnly saying it. But in an instant, a terrible key hit me. It came from Mom. Oh, you. Wow, I respect that. Dad. Yes, he is a fearless man. And in general. Why don't you come to visit us? Have you completely forgotten about your mother? Sorry Mom, I had a little difficulty preparing for the exam, and I don't really want to visit. We smile and wave. Improvisation is my everything. Naruto, who's there? Sasuke came out into the hallway. Damn. Hello Kushina-san. He took me away from Kachan and asked in a whisper, Dobe, what is your mother doing here? Apparently I came to visit. Since I don't come, I had to smile at my mother so that she wouldn't suspect anything. So. What the hell did you come out here for? Couldn't you wait for me in the living room? Or escape out the window at the very least? You know what Mom will think? They are such parents, just give them a reason, judging by how Sasuke blushed, for the third time in a day. This is nonsense, and then turned pale, it dawned on him. Great. Only it won't fix the situation. Shopping center. He clucked discontentedly, in the best traditions of the itachi. And he turned to his mother. Goodbye Kushina-san. See you Naruto. I threw Sasuke goodbye and took off. Topic, Uchiha Sasuke, I didn't think you were friends, Mom smiled. She smiled so cunningly, Su. I came to visit you to see how you live. Show me. Has something changed in the month I haven't visited you? Yes, it seems like everything is the same, I said and took the bags of food from Kachan. Are you going to cook? I'll help you. Going into the kitchen, we began to sort out the bags. What are we going to cook? I asked my mom. I've never cooked, and something's wrong with Mom. I guess it's great, let's make a curry, do you mind? No, I'm all for it. We started cooking while I was slicing vegetables for the salad. Mom was making the sauce. I'll take care of the rice, okay? I asked. I would be grateful, Kachan smiled. We sat at the table and ate dinner. Everything turned out very tasty. And those feelings that I experienced while I helped my mother with cooking. Perhaps this is what is called home comfort. Listen, Naruto, aren't you lonely here? It's just that if you wanted to move back, would be only happy, Databane. Mom asked. No, I'm not lonely. I have friends who don't let me get bored. I don't think I'm ready for this. After all, I've lived my entire adult life, and won. And I don't want to lose the advantages of a separate apartment yet. I will try to come to visit you, so don't worry. Getting up from the table, I kissed my mother on the cheek and went to wash the dishes. As you want, Naruto, but don't forget that I'm always there. There's money on the nightstand, spend it wisely. And I have to go, Minato should come soon. Waving goodbye to me, she left the kitchen. How problematic it all is. Shikamaru's beautiful phrase describes the whole situation, and POV Naruto Kushin's POV. When I left Naruto's house, I was happy for her. Clever girl. And she has made friends, and keeps the apartment clean. She took after me. However, she has changed, she has become, is it less serious? There was a twinkle in his eyes again. Maybe it finally happened. Oh, okay. I wonder what Uchiha Sasuke was doing with her. Have you already made a friend for yourself? Although I heard that he doesn't communicate with anyone at all. So, time will tell. We need to come home as soon as possible and cook dinner. I've set the table for dinner, and Minato is coming in a few minutes. If he is late again, Mom will get it. Don't grieve, Databane. Having finished this business, I went to call my son to the table. Returning, I noticed Minato, who is dutifully waiting for the whole family to pull up to the table. Remembers means my ladle. After greeting him, we started to have lunch. Minato, do you mind if Naruto comes to visit us? It's just that she hasn't been home for a long time, and so have I. I wanted to invite her here myself. Kakashi told me an interesting thing, and I'd like to check something out. I was very interested in these words. What happened that Mr. I don't want to even hear about? This stupid child wanted to call her himself, honey. And what interested you so much? I asked in an unctuous voice. And Ki released. Just a little. Let him just try not to answer. Oh, look how pale he's turned. Excellent. I'm not sure of my guesses yet. And I hope they will be refuted. He muttered. Anyway, I'm tired. Today was a terribly hard day. I was not satisfied with this answer, but the last week has really been very difficult for him. He even slept in the residence. So I figured I'd find out later. Okay. I hope you enjoyed your dinner. And now quickly go to bed. How quickly they screwed it up. What does it mean to keep everyone in a tight grip? Fine. End POV of Kushina. Naruto's morning didn't go well from the very beginning. Tripping over her own feet and kissing the floor with her face, plus she found only one thing in it, full awakening. Freed from the captivity of the blanket, the blonde went to the bathroom. After all, no one has cancelled water procedures. Naruto's POV. When I looked in the mirror, I was horrified. There was a hell of a thing going on in my head. It looked more like a nest than a hair. At least invite the birds. Why is hair so hard to comb? Can I cut them off? There will be less trouble, don't you dare, woman. Hair is sacred. Kurama stated authoritatively. I wonder, how does he know? Or is it such complexes he has? Who knows, is that the only reason you woke up? No, I just wanted to warn you that you're late. tailed yawn. What's that? Why didn't you warn the flea mat earlier? Damn, we have to hurry, don't yell like that. I have a headache without you. Ku growled irritably. Shut up. And don't get in the way. I said before Kurama fell asleep again. Hurry up, or I'll be late, although, stop. What am I talking about? Will I be more late than Kakashi-sensei? Not who can but. But Sakura does not want to get under the hot hand. Opening the closet, I examined it for the presence of brighter things. Yeah. I think I should go buy something, otherwise everything is too dark. Jumping out of the window, I raced across the roofs of houses. Did I mention that living on the top floor is very good? I had a few minutes left, but I think I'll make it, Naruto. You're 5 minutes late. You can't do that. And if, Sakura began to speak as soon as I appeared at the training ground. Well, just think I didn't calculate that at this time there are more shinobi on the roof than Kurama has fleas, and hello to you Sakura. Sensei is not here and will not be for a long time, so there is no need to worry. Why won't it be for a long time? He said he wouldn't be late, the pink-haired woman asked it, naive, I said with a sad sigh as I walked towards Sasuke. Hi, topic. How did you sleep, pf. Ha. And don't get your hopes up. Would your imagination be enough for such a thing? Did he really think it was just a nightmare? Hope dies last. Do you happen to know what kind of test we will have? Sakura asked, coming up. Well, yes. It's not difficult to find out, I replied to her, you do as you want, and I went to meditate. Sitting under a tree, I decided to talk to Kurama. I don't think Sakura would understand if I said that I went to chat about life with a nine-tailed fox. Listen, aren't you tired of sleeping all day? As for me, it's pretty boring. I decided to start the conversation first. Is something wrong with you? I'm actually doing something useful. Expanding your chakra channels. So that's why I constantly feel pain all over my body. It's because of your chakra, that's not why you came here, Kurama said affirmatively, yawning. Well, yes. I'd like to know what we're going to do with the 9 tails of this world. It will be problematic if it turns out that there are 2 Kubus in Konoha. And in general, 2 9 tails. They will immediately suspect something is wrong. You're right about that. But I've already thought it over. It is only necessary to take her tailed from Kushina. Just that. I mimicked Ku. And how do you imagine it? What do you think I am, a master of Fuinjutsu and mentalism? Don't get excited. You get into her subconscious, and I'll do the rest. It's business to absorb some kind of parody of the great me. Who else is a parody here, I thought, and how do you think I can get into my mother's subconscious? And most importantly, how to make her understand nothing? Well. These are your problems, solve them yourself. Oh, you flea-ridden rug. Fuck, you'll get help from you, I snorted in response. You'll agree now and I won't help you at all, little man, tell me you're offended. Okay, I get it. Thank you. Yeah, now get out, that was the last thing I heard before being thrown out of my subconscious. No. Well, no shame, no conscience. Now, just sitting under a tree and resting, I felt the chakra of our sensei. And, completely ignoring it, I was going to continue lying, but apparently not fate. Sakura beat me methodically to wake me up. She probably likes it. I had to get up and stop her, otherwise I won't get off with the usual bruises. Ignoring all the comments that flew in my direction from Sakura, we stood in front of Kakashi-sensei. Sensei. I exclaimed solemnly. Congratulations. You're only 15 minutes late. So it will have to be celebrated. After passing your test, let's go celebrate in Ichiraku Ramen. Ma, you take the test first. Kakashi-sensei said mockingly. It seems Sakura was ready to kill me with a look. Having signaled the start of the fight, Kakashi-sensei pulled out his favorite book, Come Paradise. I grabbed Sakura and went to the place where Sasuke was. After discussing the plan, we got to work that I was sitting in the bushes and putting up a barrier around Kakashi-sensei. Nothing complicated, it's just necessary that he could contain the smoke, but I didn't have enough for such a simple technique. There are plenty of chakra reserves, but the channels are not ready for its use at all. But there must be at least some result, considering that I have been suffering this hellish pain for the third day. She waved her hand to her partners as a sign that the first point of the plan was fulfilled. Now it's their turn to go up against Sensei. That I need to sneak into the barrier and hide my chakra. Thank Kami that this is available to me. Kato, fireball. Sasuke shouted and released a flock of fireballs at Kakashi-sensei. Sakura, meanwhile, was throwing kunai with explosive seals. There was smoke inside the barrier. It worked. This is what we wanted. Thanks to Kurama, I will be able to navigate safely. Having created 3 shadow clones, I gave them instructions. Now I have to distract Kakashi-sensei. I got into a fight with him. I throw shurikens, immediately moving to the right. Sasuke rolled the log up to Kakashi-sensei. I threw a few kunai at Sensei, and I leave from under the blow of a substitute, finding myself right next to him. I'm lucky that I'm the lowest of all. Now it's a matter of technique. Both literally and figuratively. If I make a mistake, then we will fail. But this is nothing compared to the fact that the topic will remind me of it forever. I release a little chakra, and with the help of the wind element, I cut off the bells. There is. Now, so that he doesn't guess that it's over, Uchiha puts on a light illusion of bells, and I conduct a series of blows on Kakashi-sensei. I didn't seem to notice. Ha! He didn't even put the book away. You underestimate us, Kakashi-sensei, you underestimate us. Well, it's worse for you. The remaining time, the 3 of us attacked Sensei, showing the wonders of teamwork. Well, we're with the topic. Sakura was just trying to adjust to us. And it turned out well. I'll tell you, the fight is over. Time's up. I have to say that you will have to return to the academy. Kakashi-sensei didn't have time to finish, as I interrupted him. Stop. Why come back? The task is 100% completed. I interrupted him solemnly. I take 2 bells out of my pocket and show them to Sensei. He immediately ran his eyes over his body. Realizing that we had completed the task, he looked at us with bewilderment. But when did you do it? After all, none of you touched me in that area. I would have felt it. Kakashi-sensei asked. Well, it's all Naruto. She used poetry, damn it. Sakura's talkativeness we did not take into account. I had to shut her up. Let it remain a little secret, Kakashi-sensei. Okay. But what will you do next, because there are only 2 bells? Yes, stop talking nonsense to you. If the team is graduated from the academy, it is only composed of 3 genins and 1 hunin. I exclaimed indignantly. Sakura was already worried all over. Besides, we are a team. Do you understand? We are not going to leave someone alone. We'd better all leave. Yes, topic, HM. Sasuke grunted in agreement. Great. This is what I expected from you. Shinobi not following orders, garbage. But the one who puts orders above his comrades is worse than garbage. My teammate taught me this. Unfortunately, for me to understand this, he paid too high a price. You're in pain, Sensei. It shows. Don't worry, I will definitely straighten Obito's brains. Before it's too late. I swear, Date Bayo. I whispered. Sasuke looked at him understandingly. He will support me. He won't quit. I know that. You've all passed. Tomorrow at 9 I'm waiting near the Hokage residence. See you later, Sensei said and waved his hand and used Shunshin. By the way, the famous Shunshin no Shursue is alive here. It will be necessary to make friends. Exchanged glances with Sasuke. We understood each other. After a few seconds, Sakura screamed with happiness. It seems to have dawned on her. The subject, an impudent muzzle, grabbed my hand and dragged me somewhere. It turns out to be an Ichiraka ramen. Hooray! Uchiha, you are my hero. And you pay too. I didn't try to voice it. Ha! There's nothing to do with such a pained expression. Ladies should be treated. I ate, I see, pft. Eat 7 servings of ramen. Just try not to get full. I wonder how it got into you at all and you haven't burst yet, Sasuke grinned. And got an elbow in the side. For not a fig, okay. I tilted my head back and looked at the sun. Yeah. About 8 o'clock in the morning. So you can train in peace before lunch. What do you think, Sasuke, HM? This subject grunted in agreement. Great. Forward, in the name of the power of youth, that's the end of it.